We're still camping this week at the Kings Canyon Sequoia National Park.
So, writing a book, what do you tell them?
Yeah, it's funny, I get that question a lot. Man, I've been working on a book, or I want to write a book, or how did you ever write a book? It comes in many forms, and I think most of us out there have a book inside of us that want to get out. But one of the first things I tell people is to write the book. Just write it. Don't worry about it. All the stuff, like how you're going to get it published, how do you write it, just write the story. One of the things I say is get your outline. Figure out what you want to write about. Do the outline. You can be as descriptive as you want or as minimal as you want on your outline. But kind of figure out the beginning of the book, the middle of the book, and the end of the book. And then fill things in between before you ever start writing with about how do you want the book to go? Where do you want the pace to go? So if you're writing about a murder, do you want the murder to happen in the beginning of the book, the middle of the book, or the end of the book? And then just start writing the story. I tell people it's kind of like baking a cake. When you take the cake out the oven, it's not frosted, it's a plain piece of cake. It's not the prettiest thing because you haven't frosted it yet. That's kind of what I tell people with your first draft. Just write the draft from start to finish. Don't worry about editing. Don't ever stop to question what you're writing. Definitely don't share what you're writing at this point because it's just your first draft. It's a first draft of many to come. When you get that first draft done, then you can go back and take a look at it and start editing it, tweaking it, moving things around, adjusting it to figure out, is this exactly how I want my story to go? And that's your second draft, is you kind of clean it up and you go through it again. When you're done with that, now it's time to give it to somebody. Give it to somebody that you trust, that's going to give you real feedback. I wouldn't suggest anyone in your family that may be afraid to hurt your feelings. You got to give it to someone who you can actually trust. And this person isn't really going to be editing for you as much as giving you feedback on the story itself. Are there holes in the plot? Do you need more character development? Is the story just flat out boring? Is the beginning boring? Is the end boring? Does it wrap up too fast? They'll just give you kind of feedback on how the story is. Now remember, this is just their opinion. So you take it for what it is and you change what you need to change and you rewrite that whole story again. And this is called frosting. You're layering in all the different layers of this story that's going to play out in book form when you're completely done. So those are the first things you have to do when you get the book done. Then when you get the story all laid out and you think you're all done, now it's time to submit it to to either an editor or someone you know that is really good at editing. Don't think that you can put a book out there without having it properly edited. My books go through probably at least 10 different drafts, and every single time people find mistakes, whether it's a little typo or something that I changed in one part of the book that I didn't change in the other half of the book. So when you get all that done and you get it back from your editor or whoever is checking it out, then you look at their suggestions and you make more changes. And you just keep layering and frosting that draft over and over and over. Sometimes this process may take years to develop. You're not going to get a book done on a 2-week vacation period. It's just not going to happen that way. I want to scare people off from not writing their story because, like I said, everyone has a great story to tell, and you just need to sit down and start at first base and make your way around the baseball diamond till you hit home plate. You can find my books at Amazon.com or go to BarnesandNoble.com. You can even go to my website, btclark.com, check out my books there, the books I've already published, as well as the books that are coming.
Great. Thank you so much, Bryan.
All right, thank you.